Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're interested in how to make a face mask with a removable 3M filter, then stay tuned. Okay you guys, so for this updated tutorial, you are going to need a cotton fabric, filtrete filter. No, they do not contain fiberglass. I keep getting that a lot. These are not fiberglass filters. They're pleated polypropylene plastic filters. You're going to need some shears. You're going to need some elastic, whichever kind of elastic you can find. I've been seeing people use hair ties like these for the ones that go around the ears. I've been seeing people use, I used headbands before I found a seller that actually had some elastic. And this has been controversial as well. If you have access to them, use the Wonder Clips. Somebody actually, well, several people actually gave me that idea, which I think is a wonderful idea, and I appreciated it. But the sad part about it is that they are out everywhere that I went. And I ordered some from Amazon, and they still have not shipped. This was maybe 2 weeks ago. So if you absolutely need to use something to hold your pieces together, which I'll likely just skip using pins altogether today. But if you need to use them, then go watch my last video and I will show you the safest way to use them. No, it's not 100% perfect, but it is better than nothing. Okay, so let's get started. So for those that want to know how to do a mask with the pocket filter, I'm going to show you how to do that today. Look, let me say this, guys. Do not hate on me because I'm using the UGA fabric. I know nothing about football. I just thought it was really pretty. And yeah, so if this is not your team, do not clown me in the comments. Okay, so you know I showed you guys this in the last video. This pattern I got from craftpassion.com. I will put the link in the bio. This is what I use, and so far the fit has been really great. These are the sizes for my elastic that I use. So yes, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna cut out the front two pieces first. Let me say this too while I'm here, y'all. I'm so grateful for the positive feedback and the constructive criticism, because honestly, I am not an expert on this. I just took the knowledge that I personally have and just put it to use the best way I know how. People should use the common sense to make necessary adjustments, of course, but some of y'all are just plain mean. Like, it was kind of baffling to me why some of you were so upset at people simply trying to help. But that's neither here nor there. So, okay, now I'm gonna cut the inside. Okay, so this I was kind of torn between doing the insert right here, having that open, or having it open at the bottom, but I kind of decided to have it open at the bottom. It just seems like less of an opening. I don't know, I have my own logic that I use. Sometimes it may be right, sometimes it may be wrong. So I'm gonna cut this exactly like I cut my other one. But the sewing part is where it's going to be a little different. Okay. So now another part that is different that I switched up was my filter, how I cut my filter. So I've already prepped my filter. You know, it did not come like this, like I told you guys before. So what I'm gonna do this time, find the center of this filter. I'm gonna use the lines for guidance, and this is my center. So I'm going to bring this fold to that center, and then I'm going to bring this fold to that center. Now, you know what? I may have to pin this, but it'll be all right because I have to sew this part down anyway. And I'm gonna go to the bottom and do the same thing. This actually baffled me for a minute, how to create the curve for your nose just so it's comfortable without actually sewing that seam down the middle. So as you can see, when I do that, it puckers the middle up. So it will still give us our curve. So I'm going to leave this like this for right now, and then I'm going to come back to this piece. Okay, so now I am going to sew down both of these pieces the same way that I did in my last video. If you're producing a lot of these, I recommend chain stitching, which was, I cannot remember who suggested it, but in my sewing tips and tutorials group with Anita Rivers, someone suggested doing chain stitching, which is basically continuing along like this, and it kind of gives you like an assembly line type vibe where you don't have to use so much thread, you don't have to keep cutting your thread. Actually works out great. And I'm going to snip that off. Top stitching is all about preference. I am going to top stitch. And I swear I'm not trying to be negative this whole video, but there are several things I wanted to address. People keep complaining about certain techniques that we use that may be compromising the mask, but they have to keep in mind that some people have absolutely nothing. So even if your mask is good enough to just prevent, I don't know why there's so ugly pieces on here. Even if your mask is just enough to prevent the spread to other people, then that's still better than nothing. Okay, so I'm not going to top stitch the lining part. I'm going to line this up. I'm not going to trim my seam allowance either because I just feel like you can't go wrong with that extra fabric in there. Actually, I almost skipped a step. So now I'm going to push that up like that. Oh, you just want to do your own thing. Okay. And I'm going to use this to cut this out. Okay. So just hold it flat as you can. Okay, so I probably should have pinned it a little better, a little lower down. It'll be okay. Okay, so now that I'm gonna fold this back like I had it. Remember I told you when you do have to pin at an angle. It may not help, but it doesn't hurt to try. So your holes won't be on top of each other. And any type of germ or allergen or bacteria or whatever, it'll have to kind of cipher through. Okay. So now that we have that cut, we're going to put that to the side. We're going to line this up with the seam in the middle. And I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch from the edge from one side to the other side. And if you want an even tighter fit of this, you can add darts in this as well, but I just don't really see it that necessary. Okay, so now I'm going to do this part a little different on the bottom. instead of sewing this together and leaving an opening, I am going to fold this up and I'm going to top stitch 1/4 of an inch all the way down. Oh, you're pulling, okay. And I like to have these going 2 different ways too. I wanted to tell you that. So this extra fabric will cover this seam, and this extra fabric will cover this seam. Again, it may be useful, may not be, but why not? Do the same for the other. Okay. So now I'm going to do my elastic. The measurements that I use for women, this elastic is a little more stretchy, so I like to go a little smaller than I've been cutting. So it's usually 13.5 for the longer part that goes around the head, and 10, but I'm going to do 12.5 for the longer part, and 9.5 in. 9.5 for the bottom. Okay, so now that I have that cut, I'm going to sew along the same line that I just created. I'm going to stop about 1 inch out. For my middle seam, so. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so on this part, I do have to use pins. Even though I highly doubt it's an issue using pins on the cotton, I doubt it affects it at all since it is a woven fabric. So I'm sticking that in, and then I'm making sure it's flat all the way across. And I'm pinning it to the other side. And I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna reach all the way through, making sure that I'm not going under the elastic that I have at the bottom, because then they will be twisted. I've done that so many times. Keep that flat. Push it flush against your seam allowance. Push it flush against your seam. And do the same on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna sew down both sides, 1/4 of an inch away. Now, for this mask, I am not going to do the floral wire in the nose bridge part because I cannot find any anywhere, nor could I find the little fuzzy pipe cleaner things that we used to use in kindergarten to make projects. I see a lot of people are using those, which is very, very crafty. But I cannot find either, so I'm just going without. If you want to know how to do the floral wire for the nose bridge part, then go check out my other video, which I'll have linked in my caption. So we are gonna skip right to flipping. You don't even have to worry about cutting your threads, but it's just a pet peeve. Okay. So the easiest way to flip is to just find a piece of elastic and just kind of start pulling it through and then pushing. Another change that I made, guys, is when you're top stitching, top stitch as close to the edge as possible so you can use as much filter as possible. The reason why I didn't like the insertable filters, the removable filters, was because I felt like it just left so many gaps, so many openings around the perimeter. But yes, we are going to top stitch very, very close. We're going to start here at the edge of our opening. We're going to go all the way around until we get to the other edge of our opening. I'm going to top stitch as close to the edge as possible. And I like to kind of go over my elastic a little bit and then back stitch, then pivot. I feel like it gives me a little more durability. So right here, I will back stitch before I go forward. Okay, so this is what we have. We're gonna put this to the side. And we are going to do a little top stitch just over these parts at the top. If you, I wanted to say this too, if you are uncomfortable with using these filters, then by all means, just add extra layers of cotton. I see some people using coffee filters. Some people are using vacuum bag, cut up vacuum bags as filters. Just do your research and do whatever works best for you. I am going to continue using these filters. If you can locate the 2200 filtrete filters, then definitely go for those. If you can't, then the 1500 are fine. Okay. So I'm going to have both the front, which is the part that is top stitched, and this up, and I honestly see that I'm going to have to cut this because it did take off a lot of my extra. I don't know why I didn't think about that part. Okay, so I'm gonna cut off about 1 inch. Yep. Okie dokie. So now I gotta figure out how to insert this because this is actually my first time doing this. Okie dokie. So now I just gotta get it flattened out in there. Okay. Okie dokie, guys. So that was not that bad. So this is what the end result is. And I totally did this one upside down, but it will be all right because this is not for anybody. I should have top stitched this side. All right, you guys, so this is the final result. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful. As always, please like, leave me a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share. All right, until next time.